Hey friends, welcome back to If Just One. Today I want to share a part of my story that I didn't understand at all when it was happening. But now, looking back, it's crystal clear. It is about why I kept hearing the words go to church for an entire year before I ever decided to listen. Back in 2022, something really strange, but also very gentle, started happening. I began hearing this quiet inner voice. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It didn't interrupt my day or demand my attention. It was just there, and the words were always the same. You need to go to church. At first, I just ignored it. I didn't grow up in church, and honestly, church just didn't feel like a place for someone like me. I had this idea that church was for people who already had it all together, people who knew the Bible inside and out, knew all the rules, and knew exactly where they belonged. That definitely wasn't me. I believed in God, sure, but I didn't really have a relationship with Him. I thought just believing was enough. And if I'm being honest, I didn't think going to church would really change anything. But that voice, it didn't go away. It wasn't constant, but it was consistent. It would pop up when I was driving, when I was doing chores, or when life just felt heavy. And every single time I heard it, I pushed it away. Then, around that same time, something else happened. My youngest daughter was baptized. I couldn't be there in person, but I watched the whole thing online. I remember sitting there, watching her step into that water, and suddenly I was just overwhelmed with emotion. Tears were streaming down my face, and I had no idea why. I wasn't sad. I wasn't even sure what I was feeling. I just knew something deep inside me was being stirred. Looking back now, I know that was God working on my heart. For a whole year, I heard that same message, go to church. And for a whole year, I didn't obey. But what amazes me now is how God never rushed me. He didn't scold me. He didn't shame me. And He never grew impatient with me. He just waited. That gentle calling stayed steady, loving, and patient. And during that time, I didn't realize it, but God was preparing me for what was coming next. Then I entered one of the darkest seasons of my entire life. Everything I had been pushing through 4 years finally caught up to me, and I felt completely broken emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. For the first time, I couldn't just muscle my way through it. I had absolutely nothing left, and that's when I finally stopped resisting that quiet voice. Instead, I listened. I started searching for churches online. I wasn't looking for anything big or impressive. I didn't want fancy lights or huge crowds. I just wanted something small, something personal. Somewhere I could just sit quietly and not feel lost in the shuffle. Eventually, I came across this little church nearby. I watched one of their services online, and something about it just felt right. So I asked my husband and a friend who was staying with us if they would go with me. One Wednesday evening at 6:30, we drove over the hill and across the creek to that small church. When we pulled into the parking lot, I honestly wondered if we were even in the right place. There were hardly any cars, but we saw a cross, so we went inside. There were 5 people there, and in that moment, I realized God had answered my prayer perfectly. I had asked for something small and personal, and that's exactly where He led me. I didn't know what I was stepping into, but I knew I needed to be there. Looking back now, I understand that the whole year of hearing go to church wasn't pressure. It wasn't an obligation. It was an invitation. It was an invitation to healing, an invitation to community, and an invitation to finally meet God in a real and personal way. So if you are watching this and you have been hearing a quiet nudge in your own life, something gentle but persistent, I want you to know this. God is patient. He doesn't force us. He invites us. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing to listen. Thank you so much for being here today. And remember, if just one life is touched, it's worth it.